should there be a consequence from the government if women get it?
Don't use the A word, bro. Use termination of unborn children.
Okay,
Yeah.
well that.
I think it depends on what
We
week.
can start here, yeah.
I think it depends on what week they're doing it and for what reason.
Let's do grape instead of yeah. All
Rape
good.
or incest, but definitely what week are they trying to terminate the pregnancy? And if the mother is she's going to risk her life, I mean, stuff happens. God works in mysterious ways, and if a baby is born and the mother dies, what's going to happen to that baby?
And your question was, should it be consequences, right?
Yes.
All right, got it. And we'll go around to everyone. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so you said that it should be consequences depending on when it happens.
Depending on when it happens.
And when was the time frame that you gave? Exactly when consequences should come into place?
I didn't give a time frame yet.
Like
but
weeks
I'm thinking
or months?
As soon as, I would say 6 weeks.
Okay, 6 weeks.
But you gotta understand my background of losing all my babies. So whenever it brings up an emotional thing for me. So I'm probably not the right person to ask this question.
No, there's no right or wrong.
No, I get it.
Yeah, you're giving your perspective, and it's a conservative perspective. I'm totally
if
fine with that.
everyone took, Plan B here, and be like, hey, I'll take your baby and I'll raise it because God didn't allow me to have any more. I wanted a big family. So
Fair enough. What about you? Should there be any consequences to women if they terminate their unborn children? And if so, what time frame is it? 6 weeks, 18 weeks, 24 weeks, 34 weeks?
Or
none?
So, my opinion, I can't really judge a woman on what they decide to do with their own body. Now, coming with judgment or what kind of penalties, it all falls on the situation, the timing.
A better question, I think, before we get started, should be... this is he's picked this question to be the first question.
Yeah.
We want to get their understanding first of even if they think is death, like if they think it's murder.
I've been in this situation.
So if you think it's murder, if they don't think it's murder at all, they may not have any consequences. But let's just have them go around with it.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, you said you've been in a situation where you terminated your child?
No, I did not terminate. I had the thought. I've done the appointments twice, but never had the guts to actually do it.
Okay.
Again, I grew up in church, so I was raised with a certain view of the world. I was shown how you're supposed to act, how you're supposed to see people, whether if they're not in the same religion as you. So that's why I say, for myself, I can't really judge a person because I don't know what they've been through. And it depends the situation, because there are people that they know they have a kid. There's some that are so freaking traumatized that they'll even have the kid and do something to it. So it all depends.
Got it. So let's give just a direct answer. I think she said 6 weeks. How many weeks would it be until it's some consequence?
If there's a heartbeat, bro, that's a human being right there.
All right, so what's that, 6 weeks, right? When the heartbeat starts? All right, so 6 weeks over here on this couch, and let's go to you.
I got stuck more on the government part because it's like who's controlling what and who knows what. So I think from a doctor's perspective, to kind of give me all the options is one thing versus like a government saying you can't make this decision.
Okay, so you don't want the government involved. You want the doctor to give you the option. That's what, I mean, we got rid of Roe v. Wade, so it's the state gives the option now.
The state now, it's still kind of government based. Like who are we keeping in and why are they in charge? And
those
like
are the people that we vote for. Mm-hmm. It's much easier to get, a governor elected than it is to get, the president
bill
of the United States elected. So that means that, I mean, depending on whatever values you hold, as all of us, we want to vote the people in that we share their same values. Because then it's like, okay, we do have control to an extent, depending on the value base.
I'm thinking more like, I think of like separation of church and state. Like you have values and then you have like total rights. Because there's a way of life that people want to live. And then there's like a right way of doing kind of thing. So.
Well, look, the reason why I'm asking this question because besides you ladies, I'm not including you, but we've asked this question plenty of times, and a lot of women have taken more than 2 Plan Bs, and it's just like it's an overabundance of women taking it, and as soon as it became legal, the rate skyrocketed. You know what I'm saying? So we all know, babies don't actually be born. Hold on, we all know babies don't actually be born. So it's like, are we really valuing life? And I understand the whole grape thing, and that's only a small percentage of women who are having babies from grape. You know what I'm saying? But the majority of times when women choose to, self-delete, a seed, it's usually because they were irresponsible. So how do we save more babies, and how do we prevent, and how do we get women to be more responsible? Because we're all adults here. We're not 12.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that makes me think of accessibility, because there's more of, then there's more of another. So if we didn't have the pill at all, if it never was invented, that big of a thing.
Exactly.
So would you, in other words, I'm sorry,
So
kind of want to know?
So should there be consequences for women self-deleting a seed?
I mean, you're casting a stone. Can you do it?
Well, if a man decides not to raise a kid, he's automatically put on child support. So,
Not really.
Well, we can go through examples.
I'm pretty sure, of course.
Yeah,
but
like all the cases depends.
Men are always. My point is, men are
Yeah.
always held accountable when they don't decide to do
Yeah. But I
something
mean-
or take care of their responsibilities. So, shouldn't women be held accountable when they don't decide to take
Now
care
we're
of
gonna have to go by
responsibility?
state, by legislature.
No, we don't. No, we don't. This is just between us as human beings. Forget the state. Act like state and the government don't even exist. Between
Just
human
what
beings.
he's saying is
Well, I mean,
you
if
could
we
just give
take it-
your
Yeah,
opinion
your
on it.
opinion.
Personal.
Forget the state. Forget the government. But just us. And
Yeah.
everybody in this room. What do we think?
Yeah, I wouldn't let a guy tell me what to do with my body.
But men should have a choice if it's their baby. I don't think it's right for the female to terminate a
To get
pregnancy
the full responsibility.
if the male wants the baby.
Then I throw
Then
in
what
the
happens?
depends.
Just because it's your body, but it took his
Yeah.
sperm to get you pregnant.
What
you
if
couldn't do it by yourself?
Yeah, but I
Okay,
can't.
let's do the free for all conversation after we done with these two
Yeah.
opinions. Get their perspective,
Yeah.
and then we can do the free for all. But I like that. Back on you. So no consequences. My body, my choice. Got it. And what about you?
I feel like a woman could, feel like she could do whatever she want with her body.
Okay.
I feel like it's really just a matter of perception about how people look at it. Everybody's like opinionated in their own way, but
Okay.
that's just how I feel.
So same. No consequences. My body, my choice. Okay. And what about you?
No consequences.
No consequences. My body, my choice.
And there's no right or wrong answer here either. I just want to know what y'all think.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
All right, and y'all could go back if y'all remember what y'all was talking about. You were
Yeah.
Well, it was just
Well,
if-
if about being the same, like a common decision. If you guys made the common decision, like
you
if,
had to
if it was
have sex,
consented,
if it was
Yeah.
consen-
yeah,
it was consensual.
If it was consensual, then it's consensual decision. If it's consensual, then
But
I
how many
guess
people are also using it as birth control now, and
Yeah,
so that's
so
a
that's technically what it
responsibility.
is.
Was at Walgreens and some
Yeah.
young kid was trying to buy Plan B and didn't have enough money. I'm like, you shouldn't have had sex if you don't have enough money.
I think of education. Then it's like, what are they learning?
And
Like, how are they
resources.
access? Yeah, what are they access to? Yeah.
I would have asked, how did you feel after taking one? For myself, like,
You mean a plan B?
yeah, Plan B, like,
Well, we got 3 of them that took some. So this couch didn't take
I'm
none.
saying,
but this
like, do
couch
you
did.
have
Okay, we
kids?
put them perfectly
you don't have
together.
kids. You had kids.
I have a 21-year-old son.
So did you take it before him or after him?
I never took.
No, she never took
Oh
one.
no, she never took
Yeah.
it.
You the couch.
We're the bad couch.
Quote
Okay.
unquote.
We the
All right,
my
well,
choice, my body.
let's go back over here, right? Well, let's just go back. All right, so this entire couch is my body, my choice. This entire couch all took Plan Bs, which makes sense. This couch over here did not take any Plan Bs.
I took a Plan
Oh,
B.
you took one, but this
And I said I wouldn't judge a woman, but you were asking if there was a time limit. And I said
so
if
that's
there was a
consequences.
heartbeat.
Heartbeat. So this couch over here, as far as should it be consequences for women aborting, terminating their unborn child, they say yes, and the consequence should be once the heartbeat starts. So 6 weeks. Okay. All right. So now I got a question, and we can start with you. So let's go with, okay, so since it's my body, my choice, right? Do you think that contraceptives and all the contraceptives, which is Plan Bs, birth controls, and all of that stuff, do you think that kind of, not promotes, but it incentivizes women to be more promiscuous?
No, I don't. I think
Why not?
it's just a resource that you can utilize in the event that you are and being irresponsible, but there's a choice and there's a resource. Like, it's not.
Okay, so you're just saying no because you still have choice, and then there's also a resource there. If you make the wrong choice, you got a plan B, you got another option. Okay.
There's always
Doesn't make
options.
too much sense, but okay.
You would only need it.
I understand your opinion. Let's go to you.
What was the question again?
Cool. So do you think contraceptives like Plan Bs, birth control, I think it's even more contraceptives than that. It's like many different forms of birth control and stuff like that. Do you think that what's the word I use?
Promiscuous.
And not but promotes women to be more promiscuous. Incentivizes women to be more promiscuous.
Meaning,
promiscuous is like, to just, have sex, sleep around.
I feel like it depends on how you're maneuvering the situation for real. Like, I don't really understand the question. Like, what do you mean?
Okay, I got you. So, what I'm saying is,
Like,
you
does it
have
cause women to have more sex?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
yeah.
I feel like because I feel like those contraceptives make women might make women feel safer in
To
the
have-
sense of not having a kid or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Carelessly. It's easy to use a condom or be on birth control or
Yeah, condoms is a form of birth control. So, okay, cool. So you are yes, you think it does. You are no. What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the no as well.
Okay.
It's like access and education. There's so many things that come up to someone wanting sex, being exposed to sex. They even know what it is. Like if they just grew up sheltered in a room and they don't touch themselves, then
Got it.
So.
What about you?
Do you think?
No.
Okay.
No, it doesn't. Got it. You?
No, we're all animals. We all have needs. We're all horny, and that's just, the way that things go. And birth control, it's just a form of contraceptive, but I'm going to have sex. If I'm horny enough, I'm going to have sex with, who I want.
Yeah. So the point of this question was the same as his question, right? So if you think that contraceptives don't incentivize people to be promiscuous, what that is that means that you think that consequences wouldn't change someone's actions, right? That's what that means. His first question was, well, if a woman terminates her unborn child, should she have consequences? This couch said yes. Well, you said yes to 6 weeks, yeah?
If there had to be a time.
Still
but
a
if not,
timeline.
Yeah.
So it's 6 weeks. And then this couch said no. So it's a contradiction between all of us. Well, between all of y'all right now, between y'all answers. Even you, because you said yes to this one, but then no to the other one. Which is fine. But let's think about it, and let's bring it back around. So let's bring it back to his first question, right? So he was speaking about, women terminating their unborn children, and should there be consequences? Well, let's say if there wasn't any consequences for murder at all, right? It'd be like the purge. It's no consequences. If I'm mad at you, I don't like you. Some shorty slept with your man. It's like, well, I could off you and nothing would happen to me. Maybe I just got to watch my back because your family is going to be after me afterwards, but I can probably escape and I'll be fine, right? So I think that we do need some consequences to our actions. It's like kids, right? So if you have a kid, who has kids? Show of hands. Okay.
Now we're divided.
Then y'all really divided.
so
Like this is the
Yeah.
kid couch.
Crazy.
This is the no kid couch. Okay, cool. So it's like kids. So if you have kids, if you don't discipline your kids and say, hey, if you do this, you're not playing your Xbox. If you do this again, you're not playing your Xbox. If you don't do this, you're not getting that. If you don't, discipline your kids to a degree where you can create some order and some structure in a home to give them some consequences for some actions, they're going to act very chaotically. You know what I mean? That's the same thing with human beings to an extent. So with that being said, I mean, consequences is almost a natural thing. That's how we have freedom. Think about it. If we don't freedom, the only reason why we got freedom is because we got consequences to our actions. The opposite of that is chaos. Let's say if no laws, no regulations, well, we're not free. That's chaotic. How can we really be free if someone can just come in our home and there's going to be no consequences to someone coming in our home? We got to protect ourselves and stuff like that. All of y'all would really need a man. Single mother, that just wouldn't work. You would need a man in the home at all times.
Well, I haven't had one in 12 years
I was
that.
speaking about if it was like the purge type scenario.
No, I doubt it, because some guys, you can't even depend. They could be brolic and what? The moment one sees blood, faints.
Think about the.
Bro.
Yeah, there's definitely some feminine.
But protection. It's doing the feminine, masculine.
Yeah, there's definitely
dance
some
together.
feminine panty boys out there, but generally speaking, men are stronger than women, and men are the ones that's going to protect women. Generally
That
speaking.
should.
Well, I mean, generally, not even they should, but they actually do. Like currently, right now, we live in a first world country. We have a military. We have police officers. We created order and infrastructure to protect all of us, to protect other men and to protect women and children. So if you like that clip and you want to watch more, click right here. But if you want to watch the full episode, click right here.